Hello Year 6, and welcome to your music transition lesson for this year. Mine is Mr. Arnett, Head of Music at Quennevais, and in this short lesson today you're going to be listening to some music, trying to pull out a few facts, and then just to finish with, hopefully you're going to try and write me some lyrics yourself and actually produce a bit of a song. So, first job, have a listen to this piece of music. After a while, some questions will flash up. You have those questions in your booklet, so have a go at answering the questions. Then pause the video and ask you to, and we'll go through the answers. Okay, see you in a moment.
Now when I was a little boy, so my mother told me, Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe, that if I didn't kiss the girls, my lips would grow all moldy. Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe, up. Hey, haul away, the good ship now is rolling. Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. First I met a Yankee girl, she was fat and lazy. Hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Then I met an Irish girl, she damn near drove me crazy. Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Up, King Louis was the King of France before the Revolution. Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Up, but then they done cut off his head to spoil the Constitution. Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Yep. St. Patrick was a gentleman. He came from decent people. Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. They built a church in Dublin town, and on it put a steeple. Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Up. Hey, haul away, we're bound for better weather. Timmy, hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Okay, so hopefully you've had a go answering those questions. So to go through them, what I'll do, I'll flash them up on the screen at the same time. Question number 1 was actually all to do with musical structure, how a piece of music's put together. And the question was, which of the 3 pictures best represents the structure of the music? It's quite an abstract concept to relate blocks of different sizes to music, but hopefully you'll have got the idea that a small block would be less people, a larger block would be more people. So it started off with one person singing to start with, and then he was answered by a group. Then it went back to one person, and then he was answered by a group. So that, as you can see by the picture here, the answer was actually picture A. Question 2, does the music have a steady pulse or beat? Could you clap or march to it? Yes, it did. Hey, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Dun, dun, all through the song, this steady beat was going. Way, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. And the fact that it's got this steady tempo, this steady pulse, really important for the purpose of the piece of music that it is. Question 3. If I tell you that this was originally a work song, what kind of work could this song be used to accompany? Well, we've got call and response. So we've got one person giving almost like an instruction and then answered by a group of people. There's a regular pulse, there's a regular tempo, so people could stay in time. So as you can see, my suggested answer there, and there's not just one right answer, anything where it needed people to pull together or work together rhythmically. So as an example would be on a ship, it could be in a factory, it could be in many places, but when people are working together and they need to do the same thing at the same time, that was the purpose of the work song. One person would lead it and the rest would join in when it was their turn. Okay. Question 4, kind of a quick question. They kept going on about Timmy. at the end of every line. Who or what was Timmy? It's actually a slightly trick question. They're not saying Timmy, they're not calling out for the bloke Timmy who's round the corner. It's actually to me is the actual refrain. And what it's doing, the solo singer, who's also known as the Shantyman, but we'll come back to that later, is inviting the group to sing to me. So it's actually to me, not some bloke called Timmy. Okay? So those are the answers for that first part of the question. So what we're going to do now is have a little look at, these are sea shanties, we're going to have a little look about how they kind of work, how they developed. The first clip is actually there was a BBC documentary done all about sea shanties, and I'll include a link. It's available on YouTube, so if you do want to go and look at it in a bit more detail afterwards, you can do. I'll include the link with the lesson notes. Okay.
But back in the 1920s, a similar square rigger, the Peking, was sailed in the traditional way, with few labour-saving devices and even fewer safety features. Its sailors had to be tough, working 4 hours on and 4 hours off, 24 hours a day, for the entire length of their voyage. Keeping the ship moving relied on synchronized labour, be it raising the anchor, winding up ropes, or adjusting sails. To help them, the sailors used the sea shanties that had been sung for generations. Hauling long ropes could involve up to 20 men. Songs for this used lots of verses and a lead singer, or shantyman, to keep everyone in unison. Songs like Reuben Ranzo.
Have you heard of Reuben Ranzo? That's my bit, right. He's a shantyman. And then the gang sing Ranzo boys, Ranzo, and they pull on Ranzo, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Reuben Ranzo!
This song was first sung on whaling ships, but quickly became popular with British sailors.
Ranzo, me boys, Ranzo! There. Okay.
So we can see from that clip there, these work songs, sea shanties, were not designed to be choral works of art. They weren't designed to be complex. They were functional. They were designed to keep people in rhythm, in sync, in synchronization as they got the job done, but at the same time taking their mind off it. And they would tend to sing about current affairs sometimes, what was going on in the world at the time. They might sing about places that they'd come from. They might sing about things they missed from being at home. A good example, this next clip, is actually from the 1956 film of Moby Dick. The story, if you're not aware, is basically a ship sets off to hunt the great white whale, Moby Dick, and it all ends tragically. However, this is the boat setting off from England, and the sailors are expecting to be away for 3 years. That's why you've got the very forlorn and sad-looking women who don't seem to have many teeth, but some good beards, on the dock, waving off their husbands and sons, because they're going to be gone a long, long time. And then as the ship sets sail, we get to hear 2 more examples of sea shanties. The good thing about this to pay attention to is we can actually see them in practice. The shantyman begins the call. The first one you hear is Blood Red Roses. So something like our boots and coats are all in pawn, which means they're all we've had to sell them because we're in debt. And then the chorus, go down, you blood red roses, go down. And that's the point where they're actually pulling on the rope itself. The second one you hear, Heave Away Johnny. Once again, you can see the sailors working in time to the music. So that's what it was there for. So let's have a look at this clip.
The odds! Our boots and clothes is all in pawn. Around, you blood red roses, around. And it's mighty drafty round the Cape of Storms. Around, you blood red roses, around. Oh, you pinks and posies. Around, you blood red roses, around.
Take care of the butter. Wait to send to pound it is. Well, then, stop palaver in the way. 3 hours is a long while going. God have you in his holy keeping. Heave
down, and others is bound for France. Heave away, my Johnny, heave away. And some is bound to the Bengal Bay to teach them ways to dance. And away, my Johnny boys, we're all bound to go. Come all you hard with the sailors around the Cape of Storm. Heave away, my Johnny, heave away.
Okay, you've listened to me witter on for long enough, so it's time for you guys to go and produce something now. So, in the pack of material you've got, you will see there's a couple of pages entitled Writing Your Own Sea Shanty. And this is just a starting point. If you want to change it, do it in a slightly different way, please feel free. But I'm just trying to get you to write some lyrics, some rhyming lines that would fit. So on the sheet you can see there, I've put it on the screen next to me, use this guide to help you write. You will need a one-line refrain, and that we're going to use Haul Away Joe as a sort of model. So the refrain in Haul Away Joe went, hey, haul away, we'll haul away Joe. And that came after every other line. And remember, the refrain is simple, because the sailors, they're busy, they're concentrating on pulling their ropes. They don't want to have to think about complex lines, so it's the same thing again and again. So I've put a few words you might want to use, words like heave, or heave-ho, or pull, or push, together. It was very common to use someone's name, so you might want to drop a name in there as well. The refrain doesn't have to make sense, but try and give it a sort of nautical, sailory type vibe, okay? And then for the verses, they're very short, they're 2 lines, and they're 2 lines, the second line rhymes with the first line. So the example on the sheet there was, when I was a little boy, and so my mother told me. Then we have the refrain, way, haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Second line, if I didn't kiss the girls, my lips would go all mouldy. Way, haul away, we'll haul away Joe, etc. So we're just after, for each verse, 2 lines of equal length, so they fit together and could be recited rhythmically, and that's the important thing, okay? The scenario is, you're a sailor, you're going away for 3 years or more, and you're really going to miss Jersey, especially the Jersey beaches and the Jersey coastline. So you could use that as as an example of something to write about. So I gave the slightly lame example on that sheet there. I sat down for 2 minutes and thought, take me back to Beauport Beach, that beach it is so stony. Heave the rope, heave ho. That's my refrain. Take me back to Beauport Beach, 'cause out here I'm so lonely. Heave the rope, heave ho. All right. So my slightly lame example should hopefully give you some ideas. And on the second sheet there, which you can see, I've just left a space for the refrain. And then I've left a space for 4 verses. So 4 pairs of lines there that you can write down. You can try and make it funny. You can try and make it emotional. It's up to you. But I really look forward to reading these when you bring them in September. So have fun with it. If you can, rope the family in and get them to perform it with you. That would be a nice over-dinner task, perhaps. But you don't have to record anything. All I want you to do is bring in the lyric sheet when you come back. So thanks very much. I'll see you in September. Goodbye.